Shalom, Brakatha Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Chakadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the talking this truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work, and also to the believers scattered across the four corners of the earth, the hopefully elect of the USA. Shalom. Quick lesson through the spirit, I'm going to call it another reason why Russia is going to destroy America. And here's a quote from Putin. He says, "A woman is a woman and a man is a man." Putin vows to protect Russia from West or America's agenda of obscurantism. All right, so as we can see, America is steadily being exposed for its wickedness. This place is the root of wickedness that has spread itself across the four corners of the earth, man. That's corrupting everything. All right, and so you got certain countries and certain powers out there in the East who are not trying to conform themselves into the image of America in this beast system. And Russia is one of them. You got two of the same devils in one. All right. These devils over here in Russia ain't with that shit. They're not with the changing of kind. All right. A woman can be a man and vice versa. Over here in America, you can be a no gender. You can be neither. And that's straight confusion, man. But this is what's being pushed out. And this is why the Lord's going to raise up these Russians to destroy America, man. Because shit has gotten ridiculous. And that's why when you go to Revelation, the 17th chapter, it speaks about this great prostitute being America. A vision seen by John the Revelator on the island of Patmos 2,000 years ago. He saw, all right, this dealing with America. So Revelation 17:5, it says, upon their forehead was a name written, speaking about America, and that name is just a title or an identity for what this place is known for. It says, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. You see? The mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. Meaning that this place is the one that's polluting the whole earth, man. All right, so when you go down to Babylon, the Greek 897, Babylon goes into confusion. All right, confusion means, let's look it up real quick. A lack of understanding, uncertainty. Number 2, the state of being bewildered or unclear in one's mind about something. All right, and that's what these Babylonians have been made drunken off of, the philosophies that have gone out, and also these other nations as well, in which there is no judgment. People don't know right from wrong. It's okay to have a change of kind. It's okay for you to change your sex and be called something else when you were born otherwise, man. So going down to definition C, it says allegorically of Rome as the most corrupt seat of idolatry and the enemy of the Israelites, basically. Yahweh Shemashah and the Israelites. So this place, Rome, was the corrupt seat of idolatry. Now we understand that Rome was brought back in the form of America. Revelation the 13th chapter, that deadly wound that was healed. And they said that was going to make an image of the beast. That fourth beast Rome, and that's what you see from America in this beast system. And they're spreading that philosophy throughout all the earth, and they're corrupting everything. That's why when you go to the book of Psalm, the 37th chapter and the 35th verse, King David spoke about this wicked place, man. He said, I have seen the wicked in great power. All right. The wicked being in Esau, America, EU, and the NATO, this beast system in great power, and spread it himself. All right. His philosophy is like a green bay tree. Pretty much has spread over the entire compass of the earth. And all these nations are eating off of that corrupt tree, and they're being polluted. But you got certain countries who are not with that shit, such as Russia. Another reason why they're going to rise up against America, Babylon the Great, along with these other nations as well. They're going to see that this place is corrupt and it has to be destroyed. All right. I'm going to read some of this real quick. It says, throughout the remarks, he called it basic common sense, right? Which strongly suggests that the opposite is currently the rule of the day in America. You see, the opposite is currently the rule of the day in America. Doing the complete opposite. That's why we know the so-called white man to be the devil. All right, the adversary and Satan, because he's in complete opposition of the laws and statutes of the Most High. All right, matter of fact, when you go to Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah 26:10. It says, let favor be showed to the wicked. All right. So this man was given rulership, due to the Most High giving it to him. Yet would he not learn righteousness. This man cannot do right. In the land of uprightness, he would deal unjustly and would not behold the majesty of the Lord. All right. Starting over there in the land of Israel. And this man has been given power, these Amalekites, over the entire earth. And this is what they're pushing out, man. He cannot learn righteousness. So going back, it says, let's see here. Where it start back right here. It says, which strongly suggests that the opposite is currently the rule of the day in America and the West generally, where people fear being counseled in their jobs and during public discourse if they don't conform. You see, they don't conform to concepts of gender fluidity. All right. So due to America's power, they're able to conform nations into their image. All right. So the scripture says that all nations have drunken, of the cup of this whore, man. They've been made drunken. All right. It goes on to say gender fluidity and Frankenstein reassignment surgeries. Yeah, you got Dwayne Wade's son. Nigga that got a sex change at the age of 8, I believe. So this is the end thing in America, which is an abomination over there, pretty much in the East, man. It says, which is even increasingly being pushed on children. Right. So this place is a council. This place is a council that has to be uprooted. So going to Sirach with Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 10, it says, the physician, which is Yahushua, cutteth off a long disease. All right, Esau and his empire, starting with America. And he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. He has to be cut off. He has to be rooted out. All right. So let's kind of skip on down a little bit and see what else he had to say. All right. The top says, that's when he likened the West's attempt to push these things on Eastern Europe to a viral infection, just like we just read, in Sirach 10 and 10. The Lord is going to cut off this long disease. So what Esau is pushing over in America is like a viral infection. It says, just like the CV pandemic, he said. All right. So ultimately, he said, just like the CV pandemic, one can't escape non-traditional values coming from abroad. We need to look for an antidote. All right. An antidote. Antidote means what? A medicine taken or given to counteract a particular poison. Right. And we understand that the antidote is, as I just read, man. All right. It's going to be Yahushua. Let's go back to it. Sirach 10 and verse 10. All right. The physician cutteth off a long disease. That's the antidote. The Lord's going to send these missiles over here to burn this place, to cleanse it. All right. That cancer has to be burned out. Their radiation from those nuclear missiles. The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. All right. 2 Edith 4 in verse 28. Okay, going into this place being corrupt, it says, but as concerning things where thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown right here in Babylon the Great, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. All right, it's going to come soon. All right, in the midst of World War III. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and at the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. So this place has to be destroyed in order for good to come. All right. Because you got all these nations who are mourning because you don't have the righteous rulers in power. Proverbs 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So the wicked are bearing rule now, and the people are mourning. So once the righteous are in authority, the people will eventually rejoice. Every nation but Esau. Esau has to be cut off and exterminated out of the earth, man. All right. So in order for the righteous to be in authority, this place has to be what? Overthrown. You see? So going back, I mean, shit like this. Like, what the fuck is that, man? It says, Swimming World Magazine editor says trans swimming has same advantage, doping revised. All right, so basically, they're saying that these trans athletes have the capabilities of someone who is shooting themselves up with steroids or testosterone or some shit, because they're beating the shit out of these women in these competitions. I mean, this is just complete confusion. This guy Putin says in comments earlier this year, Putin called imposing transgender teaching on children a crime against humanity. All right. Also, down here you got, we'll start at the top. Every year during what the U.S. has designated as Pride Month in June, American embassies around the world fly the rainbow flag in most embassies throughout the globe, spreading their pollution, right? Including in Moscow, over there in Russia, and throughout Eastern Europe, where countries like Poland tend to be more conservative than Western Europe. Of course, there's a notable exception. U.S. embassies in conservative Muslim nations like Saudi Arabia and Iraq did not fly the rainbow flag this year, all right? Because of what? They're not with it. The Saudis, it should be remembered, is America's closest Arab ally and partner, okay? U.S. embassy in Moscow puts up a pride flag, and did the State Department do this in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, or any other type country where being gay is a literal death sentence? You see, so this is what America is pushing out into these other nations that are not with it. And now, this guy Putin said, hey, we're going to protect, our nation against this pollution. All right, that's what the Lord says he's going to raise these Russians up, man, to destroy this place. They're going to be the first ones to kick it off. All right, or spearhead the attack. So let's go to Jeremiah 50 and verse 9. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, starting with Russia, and they shall set themselves in array against her, with the nuclear missiles. It says, from thence she shall be taken, talking about America. Their arrows, the missiles shall be as of a mighty axe from man, and none shall return in vain. Okay, and none are going to return in vain. They're going to burn this place, and they're going to get rid of that wickedness. All right, so Jeremiah 51 and verse 7 says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that had made all the earth drunken. All right, drunken off his philosophies. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. All right, and that's what's going to cause these nations to come up against Babylon the Great to destroy it. Because this place is fucking up everything, man. Isaiah 13. Let's see. Isaiah 13, all right, verse 17, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, talking about Russia, which shall not regard gold, all right, silver, and as of gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, the missiles, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. It says, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew, all right, Sodom and Gomorrah. And we know why that was destroyed, for its sexual immorality. It shall never be inhabited, and neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. And neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make fold there, all right. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satires shall dance there, all right. So this place will be made desolate for a long time, for many generations. It's going to be a big, land of just ashes, man. All right. And you're going to have, No unclean birds here. They're gonna fly over here and they're gonna nest here. You see? So no one will ever dwell in America after it's destroyed. Okay? So let's go to that's pretty much the point, man. I don't want to make this too long, but you see what's going on, all right? The nation is not with this shit, and they're gonna rise up against America, Babylon the Great, and they're gonna destroy this bitch in World War III. So Lord willing, you were edified. Till next time I say, Shalom.